Power Ranger Zeo, the season, second series to Power Ranger, and honestly, it's a really, really good season. To be honest, it had some slight changes, like they recycled some music from Power Rangers, but except for like they didn't have the singing part to it for like fight and combat and five five for one. But overall, it's a really good season. Um, I feel like other characters got to shine, and they had like character arcs in there. They made Rocky from being a complete joke of a Red Ranger to being actually a really badass Blue Ranger. And Tanya only had one episode in Power Rangers Alien Rangers, but she got to shine, and she's actually a very solid character. Adam was really good. Um, Tommy, he's always good, but they gave him some story arc in there. Catherine, however, I hate to say this, but she super bland. But I'm gonna go and say the Zeo beginning and Zeo Beginning Part 2 are really good starters for a good season. Shooting Star was fine. Target Rangers was fine. For crying out loud, maybe one of the worst episodes of Zeo. Sadly, because of the baby. Oh my god, it was so annoying. But Rangers in the outfield. Um, Rocky shined at the end. But it was more of it was a Tanya episode. Every dog has its day, and that's where it showcases how bad Catherine is as a Power Ranger. Um, and the Puppet Blaster had some of the worst kid actors. It was a good episode, but it was like it's so bad it's good kind of episode. Like Lieutenant Stone's son, or was it son or cousin? I think it was his nephew or something. And his acting was so bad. But Invasion of the Ranger Snatchers was pretty good, like movie stuff. Graduation Blues, they were trying to get rid of Billy early. And here's where I have a problem with Zeo is when Billy stepped down. Kind of sucks that he was not a Power Ranger. I mean, he was good supporting. Um, and if you know the how he left the show, you already know because he was gay and people didn't like him. The producers or whatever would tease him and stuff. And yeah, a few bad seeds. That actually showcased how better that Rocky was as a Blue Ranger. I really like the like every time they had the music for the Zords, get me really hyped. But yeah, the it kind of made Rocky both a joke and a badass at the same time in Zeo. But and Tanya had like this boyfriend. What the heck was his name? He was a jerk. He was like the male version of Angela from Power Rangers. I could not stand Angela in Power Rangers. I was glad she was gone in the first season. Luckily, he was only in like 3 episodes. But man, he was a dick. Uh, and Billy's Mean Screen was good. Instrument of Destruction may be one of the best Zeo episodes. I really like that episode with the music references and the mysterious piano player. Really good episodes. There's no business for Snow Business. Yeah, that episode was the first part of that episode was not very good, and it also showcased again why Catherine is a terrible fighter. If you go look up on YouTube, Catherine is defeated, and it shows all the clips of her getting her ass beat. That showcases why she's a bad ranger, and they force the Catherine and Tommy love thing because it made Kimberly look bad because she had the note, the Dear John letter, and she found somebody else. And Tommy was upset about it, and they go to like some the snow resort area, and they find this one girl there that kind of has it for Tommy, and Tommy's like, whatever. And she's like older. But anyway, part 2 and 3 are better. I can't remember in Inner Spirits. Oh, that was the Tommy has a brother, and he's actually a decent actor. It's just too bad the actor for him passed away. And that was actually Jason David Frank's actual brother. And apparently he was originally supposed to be the Gold Ranger, but that never happened. Oh well. And Trust in Me was pretty good. It came from Angel Grove, pretty good. Bulk Fiction, there was a reference to Pulp Fiction and towards the end because of the music. And that's where Bulk and Skull went from being the police officers to detectives because the chief of police guy took off Lieutenant Stone, and Bulk and Skull's like, you can't do that. If he goes, we go. I thought that was kind of a good episode. Song Sung Yellow. Tanya basically backed down from a contract from famous music producers, which was kind of dumb, but whatever. They didn't want her character to go, because she's a really good character actually, and you actually see her training, unlike Catherine. But Game of Honor. That was the last time you saw the boyfriend, for Tanya, well, ex-boyfriend, because they broke up in the baseball episode, and she has a new girlfriend, and I did not realize this until today, that the same girlfriend was the same girl from the Hate Master who didn't want Aisha in the club because they didn't, she's not, her parents don't make enough money or whatever. But Hate Master was a good two-parter episode, or was it two-parter? Or, yeah. Anyway, The Power of Gold. You finally see like the Gold Ranger, and you're like, who's this Gold Ranger guy? He has his badass theme song, and a small problem was they made a similar episode to that in Turbo, from what I remember. A Season to Remember is easily the worst season episode, but it was the Christmas episode, and it confirms that Catherine and Tommy had a kid and a grandkid, and it confirms that his son is a Power Ranger. Roly Bed, Roly to Rise, that was good. Rockabye Power Rangers. Do I Know You, the Gold Ranger, was in that. And Revelation of Gold. He had like a bounty hunter guy chasing after him. And it reveals they were trying to say that Billy, because he was disappearing, and then they tried to say that Tommy's brother was disappearing. Oh, they might be the Gold Ranger, and it turns out, who is this Gold Ranger? Is nobody that we know. He was like, oh, it's a new character that nobody knew. But A Golden Homecoming, maybe one of the best episodes also, because it has a return of a character, but it also, when you're growing up, you realize that, man, Billy should have been the Gold Ranger, and they gave us some bullcrap explanation why he can't become the Gold Ranger because because the producers didn't want him to become the Gold Ranger. But part of me wishes he did, but my jaw dropped when Jason came back as the Gold Ranger, because, he was the Red Ranger from Mighty Morphin, and he was the best Red Ranger of all time, and my second favorite character in Power Rangers history, and he was my favorite character until Tommy showed up too. So, um, and then Mondo's Last Stand, they had um, Rocky. Rocky was getting jealous of Jason. He was feeling like he was being replaced. Ironically, he was the one who replaced Jason, but he took on King Mondo himself. He took on King Mondo because he found like some giant sword and it made him big. And Mondo obviously manhandled the Blue Ranger, Blue Zero Ranger. I really love the added special effects. The music is good, but it's not as good, by the way. Ascent of the Weasel. Oh wait, I'm skipping an episode. Bomber of the Summer. They replaced King Mondo because he was like destroyed for a few episodes. Louis Kaboom. He was an interesting character, but I don't know. He was like a filler character. And then also I don't remember, was it Bomber of a Summer? Oh, it was Joke on Blue, where King Mondo's other son showed up with Archerina, and the ranger who came from Gold turned Jason into an actual Gold Ranger. But it was an okay episode. Now, where in the world is Zero Ranger 5? Tommy was missing throughout the whole episode, and nobody knows where he's at. And King Mondo's son, shoot, I forgot his name, but basically brainwashed Tommy, and Bulk and Skull have been transported to the arena, and there's this fish, Asian fish hybrid alien guy, and like Bulk and Skull actually helped the Rangers. There's actually a couple times where Lord Zed and Rita, who barely show up in this series, unfortunately, and also Goldar and Rita have been turned into complete joke characters and they lost their memory, but they eventually got their memory back. Yeah, King for a Day was a really good episode. You actually see Tommy versus the Gold Ranger, if you know red versus green, and you actually hear the evil Green Ranger laugh, and you actually see the White Ranger appear. A brief mystery of time was like the time was going over and over, like the same day was happening over. Mystery to me is easily one of Catherine's worst moments because she gets her butt handed to her by Archerina, and yeah. And it was one of the lowest rated episodes for some reason, and actually pretty decent episode. Another song and a dance. Oh my god, this is a funny episode where Tommy and Tanya are forced to sing while they're fighting, and they get their butts handed to them. And let's stop this crime. It's morphing time. My throat hurts from this outburst. And Zordon, please, I'm on my knees. And even the hey-ya, it was even turned into a song. And a Ranger of Two Worlds, you actually see the Aquitar Rangers come back. And it was nice to see them come back. And they have a new other Aquitar character in there that becomes Billy's other love interest out of nowhere. And this is where we don't see Billy anymore, and the actor is gone. They made him older, played by a different actor, and he basically sounds nothing like Billy. He says one line that sounds like Billy, and he's getting older for some that stupid thing where they made him a kid and then he became an adult. Really good fight scenes. One of the best fight scenes in Zeo. In Hawaii, Zeo, the Gold Ranger is losing his powers. And oh yeah, and the the Rangers of Two Worlds Part Two, they they have achieved footage of Billy, and it's not even his voice. It's like some other guy. It doesn't even sound close to Billy's voice. At least in the end credits, they put like a tribute to all like Mighty Morphin and Zeo stuff and Alien Rangers like footage. That was kind of heart. That was kind of heartbreaking because the whole story with him. But good as gold. Um, it's the Gold Ranger powers are affecting Jason, and like he's losing his powers, but it's also he's losing his life, and he has to transfer his power to the tray of Trifonia, and the and the whole fight was pretty good. And I also like the end where Lord Zed and Rita give give the Machine Empire a present. And it's a bomb, and they blow it up, and it was like so savage. And Rita and Zed were like, "We're back," and eventually that never really happened, sadly. But that was the end of Zeo. I would give Zeo an 8 out of 10. It was one of the best Power Rangers seasons. It's kind of foggy watching the season because this came out in 1996, and you know what else show that came out in 1996? I was like Power Ranger who. After that, Dragon Ball Z. I still watch Power Ranger Zeo, but I probably only watched like 30 or 25 of the 50 episodes. And if you notice, this is a much shorter season than Power Rangers. But yeah, Dragon Ball Z came out around this time, so my mind is like foggy on remembering it. So yeah, both Volume 1 and 2 are. I got both Volume 1 and 2. I wish the quality of the DVDs were better, but whatever. Um, I'll give it. I'm only giving some negatives because Catherine's forced love story with Tommy and the Billy leaving and turning Rita and Zed into complete jokes. I mean, the Machine Empire characters, I like the characters for the Machine Empire: Mondo, Arcarina, and Prince Rocket, and Clank. Who's that? Clank and shoot, but around and away we go. But he had like some weird accent, like Scottish accent. Um, yeah, now I gotta watch the Turbo movie because that's canon, and the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers movie original isn't, but the Turbo one is. And then I gotta watch Turbo the series. Wish me luck, guys.